Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you guys don't know me, my name is Steph. I usually make gameplay videos, and if you're returning, hello, welcome. I know this isn't the usual, but I just wanted to give commentary on why I believe that Joel's death made sense in The Last of Us Part 2 after replaying The Last of Us Part 1. So, before I preface this, I know that everyone has their own opinions, so if you don't agree with mine, that's okay, and if I don't agree with yours, that's also okay. So, let's get started. Why did Joel's death make sense to me as a player of the game? As I replayed The Last of Us Part 1, I was very shocked at how much they hinted that it was going to happen. We kind of enter this world where he's already a anxious person, and we see this right away when he takes down the first zombie that he finds. He immediately grabs his weapon and with no hesitation he takes it down. And when we're with Tommy, he does not let him help the people on the side of the road, because I feel like this is the first instance of when Joel is more of a realist and Tommy is an optimist. So we see him going like, no, we can't help people, we gotta go, even though Tommy's like, yes, we can, we have the room, we have the space. Even Sarah's like that, because that just showcases the two different personality types that they are. Joel is more of a realist rather than an optimist, and we do see that he's not a good person, and also when this begins, he adapts to it. And you see that because he becomes a smuggler. He's able to make those sacrifices and those things and, go that extra mile because he needs to do it. The next one is when Tess is bitten and, she says our luck runs out and that's it. And when she even like flat out says it, like, we're not good people. And I don't know why it never hit me back when I played it in 2018, like when I first played it in 2018. She just flat out says it, and it never hit me until after I replayed the game, after playing part 2, because I was like, oh, like, they aren't good people. That's a good observation, and I never knew it. So, like, even then, the game is telling you, Joel's not a good person, he's a realist, he will do what he needs to do to survive. The next part of the game where it kind of showcases this is with the Bandits, when Joel already knows their plan. And then when Ellie asks, he says, oh, I've done it before, So that was also interesting, where it's like, oh, Joel's not a good person. And then when Ellie even flat out asks him, like, did he kill innocent people? And he doesn't say yes, but he doesn't say no. But to us, we should already know that he has. And so it was interesting seeing this. And then the next part is when he tries to kill Henry and Sam, not once, but twice. Once in the beginning when they first meet, and then second on the beach. And then even when Sam turns, he is just like, screw it, I'm gonna save Ellie's life because her life means more than your guys' do. And so he is like willing to make that sacrifice and that risk just because of it, even if Henry stops him. But he was gonna do it, So that was interesting. Another one that is like blatantly obvious is when they get to Tommy and he says, oh, I've only had nightmares because of what we did to survive. So it's just another showcase that Joel has done a lot to survive. And it's interesting in terms of like that world where throughout this game we are seeing like all these bad people, but it's like Joel's no better than the bad guys. And so I just thought that it was interesting to also hear about and also think about and process, And so, like, the last thing is obviously the Fireflies. We all know that iconic scene where Joel takes down the whole hospital of Fireflies, so that's the last bit of things. And obviously, we do know, if you've played The Last of Us Part 2, the surgeon is Abby's dad, so that's always fantastic. Not really, but So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on how Part 1 made it so that you can actually see and understand that Joel isn't a good person. He only seems like the quote-unquote hero to us because we are playing as him. If we were playing as someone else, if we were even playing as David, we would think David is the hero because that's who we are playing as. And so I just think it's really interesting that if the tables were turned, like if we were playing as Tommy, Joel could probably still be the villain because of all the nightmares he gave him. If we were playing as Marlene, he's the villain. If we were playing as David, he's the villain. If we were even playing as a surgeon, Joel is the villain, but because we are playing as him, we are in his perspective, we see him as the hero. And so even if it was someone else, he is still the villain no matter what. And so I just thought it was an interesting observation after playing both games and seeing those stories intertwine into one. I'm not saying Joel is meant to be the villain. He's not the villain. But I'm just saying that if it was in a different perspective, he could be. He very well could be, because he's not a good person. And so that's what I'm just trying to explain. And that is why I believe Joel's death makes sense, because he isn't a good person and he did have that coming. And yeah, he didn't get the heroic ending that we all hoped he would get, but that's how life is. People are just gonna die, even by a golf club. So yeah, that's why I believe that Joel's death made sense. He had it coming. That's basically what I mean, is that he had his death coming and it made sense within the story. And yeah, so that's it. Those are my 2 cents on this. And I hope that hopefully you guys can agree. And if not, then let me know in the comments down below. I am willing to have a whole conversation, but please be nice. Thank you. Okay, goodbye everyone. Have a great rest of your day, night, whatever it is. Okay, bye.